Okay, so we're going to use a soft Fitball 9-inch diameter for our prop today, and we'll just go ahead and get started. We'll pour ourselves all the way down, lengthening till the very end. When you lay your body down, walk your feet a little closer to your bottom, and if you need to, look up and make sure that you can't see your heels, right? Because they should be right in line with those thighs. Wrap the shoulders back and down. We're going to start kind of small with a little squeeze. That's it, and soften. Squeeze. So I'm just pulling in on the ball, but I want to think that I'm zipping in on the ball from sort of the base of my pelvis. It's not just my knees, it's like my whole thighs are pulling in. Pulling in. Good, we're going to make it a little bit bigger. We're going to pull in, hold, pelvic tilt, and then relax. Pull in, hold, pelvic tilt, and relax. Pull in, then tilt, and relax. Pull in, then tilt, and relax. So think of it as 2 steps. We're going to add a 3rd step. You're going to pull in, tilt, then curl. So think of a pelvic curl as your ribs are translating back to the mat underneath you, and just your sacrum is floating up. And then start to lay your spine back down. Hit those same 3 steps as you come back up again. And lay it back down. All the while, double check with your shoulders that they aren't creeping up towards your ears, right? They're staying relatively soft. We're going to start to make this bigger still. 4 steps. Pull in, tilt, curl. Now articulate all the way up. Take the inhale at the top. And then think soften through your sternum, soften through your ribs, soften through your waist. Keep squeezing the ball till the very end when you let it go, right? Squeeze in, tilt, curl, then articulate all the way at the top. Make sure you don't distend at those ribs, but think that you're pulling those ribs down, staying long through your waist, and lengthen and lower. Lengthen and lower. Keep squeezing in on that ball. We've got twice more. Squeeze, tilt, curl, then articulate. Then think soften and lengthen, wrapping your shoulders back and down, long from the base of your spine, base of your neck, all the way to the tailbone. Last one, squeeze, tilt. Picking it up, this time at the top, we're going to hold. We're going to squeeze in on that ball, and you're going to kick one leg long, and then bend. Lengthen and bend. And bend. So squeezing in on that ball, zipping up from the base of your pelvis, right? Lengthening it out from underneath your arms. Pushing energy down into your supporting leg. Make sure you feel the hamstring firing up. Good, we've got once more right, once more left. Reconnect with your center and start to lay yourself all the way back down. Keep wrapping those shoulders till the very end and soften. Again, squeeze, tilt, curl, stack it all the way up. Holding here at the top, we're just going to squeeze in on the ball like we could pop it. So we're already squeezing in, so I want you to squeeze in tighter, right? Tighter still. Now pull in, pulsing at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly melt and think long, low back. Wrap the shoulders back and down. Keep it soft till the very end when you feel like, you could let it go. Whew. From here, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to move into our upper thoracic curl. Exhale, flex. Think that you're going to, again, translate the front of your ribs down towards the mat underneath you. And inhale to soften. And exhale, flex. So all the while, I want you to think you're pulling those abdominals in and up. Give me a little squeeze to the ball so that you feel from the thighs to the base of the pelvis working. Last one, stay lifted here. What I'd like you to do is squeeze in on the ball and float your legs to tabletop position. You're going to pull in on the ball and push your arms down into the space around you, pulsing. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So with our hundreds today, I actually want you to think of how you're using the ball to engage deeper into the abdominals. I've kicked my legs up. You can join me here, or if you'd like, we'll start to lower. All the while squeezing in on the ball, lengthening that low back, translating the front of your ribs back and down, and pumping the arms. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, bend, soften everything back and down. Woo! Let it breathe. let's go ahead and set the ball out of the way for just a moment as we enjoy some stretching. So the ball's going to go to one side. Hands let's bring behind our head. And we're just going to start to gently walk those feet max distance apart, or maybe just a little wider. Kind of find what feels good for you for a moment. And I'm going to start to rock my thighs, my hips, just a little bit right to left. Just a little bit right to left. Kind of calming my heart rate here as well. Now what I'd like you to start to do is rock the weight of your thighs over towards the right. So that right thigh is going to fall towards the mat, and the inside of your left thigh is going to fall towards the mat. Now let's keep going with a little upper body twist. I want you to push into the inside of your left foot and start to roll all the way over towards the right side of your body. And now reach through the back of your left shoulder. From here, I'd like you to start to push into the outside of your right thigh. As you spiral back open towards the ceiling, swivel your legs up through center, drop them over to the left. Take a moment, check it out. Continue to roll the upper body over towards the left and stretch open the back of your right shoulder. And then carefully back through center, unspiraling your body, unspiraling your thighs. Continue over towards the right. And we'll play like this just a little bit, kind of wringing out your waist. Stretching through the chest, the hips. Back up. Let's do one more to the left, finishing even wherever you're at. And then carefully bring yourself all the way back through center. So from here, grab onto that ball again. You're going to gently roll yourself up so that the ball now becomes about the center of your back. And we're going to lay ourselves back down onto the mat. Cradle the head in the hands again as you anchor your pelvis and enjoy a big stretch up and around the ball. So my head actually can relax onto the mat. Yours may not be there, that's okay. But I want you to enjoy a thoracic extension, opening up through the chest. So on your next exhale, let's translate the ribs down into the ball. Pivot to bring that head up over our shoulders. Now as you lengthen back, we're not going to lower as far. I just want you to think of your body as a strong straight board. That's the extent of your lower, right? And then we pick ourselves back up. So you're going down just a little bit, and then pick yourself back up. Down just a little bit. So you're not actually letting go of those abdominals and moving into that full extension. You're still keeping your waist drawing in and up. Just that little bit. Let's do 3. Every time, I'm actually thinking about pulling the top of my head up towards the ceiling. Last 2. Almost there. Last 1. I'd like you to stay lifted for me. Everybody's going to inhale as we spiral to the right. And then everybody's going to exhale as we turn all the way to the left. Inhale as you spiral to the right. And exhale, turn all the way to the left. Woo! Wringing out your waist. Here's the twist again. Everybody think about your pelvis. Your thighs are parallel. Be careful they aren't rocking to and fro. Last 4. Your feet may be slightly anchored. Your abdominals are definitely holding in and up. Woo! Last 2. Inhale to the right, opening up through the shoulder girdle and the ribs as you're flexing and holding that waist. Last time. All the way back through center. Now again, enjoy that big up and over stretch. Maybe this time your arms reach. See if that feels good. Circle the hands to your thighs. Gently start to pick yourself all the way up. So the ball now is going to come between the calf and your hamstring, and you're going to pinch it as you come to a tabletop looking down. Right? So a little bit of hamstring work here as you squeeze in on that ball. To start, let's move through some cat-cow just to mobilize, loosen our spine. A little bit of that back and forth. Kind of engaging the shoulders in a new position. Now find a happy medium somewhere in between. Feel like you're standing into your arms. Hold your spine through neutral. It's like that board again, like a strong straight plank. And just your left leg is going to go to work. You're going to start to press it up and then tap the knee down. Press it up and tap the knee down. Press it up and tap the knee down. All the while you're looking just beyond your fingertips Your spine is strong and straight. You're squeezing in on that ball just a little bit. You feel your hamstring engage. 4. Wrap the shoulders. 3. Keep the collarbones wide. 2. Last one, press it back, hold. Keep squeezing the ball, but you're going to circle the thigh out to the side, and then you're going to circle it back down, out to the side. So a lot of stability in the right hip right now, right? Think of thighs, kind of zipping up through the base of your pelvis, holding your spine in this beautiful, strong, straight line. Do you feel your left obliques, kind of maybe a little pull as you work to draw that knee to the side? Last 4. Give me 3. Last 2. Almost there. Last 1. And spiral it back. Now from here, pull it to the side. Keep it here. We're going to draw it down and lift up and down and lift up and down and lift up. Woo! Lift the layers of abdominals. You should feel the outside of your hip going to work. Almost there. 5. 4. Last 3. Give me 2. Last 1, and slide it down. Gently release the foot, the ball from between your hamstring and your calf, and you're going to bring it underneath your left foot. A little bit of opposite arm and leg reach. So from here, walk that ball out so that your left leg is straight. I just rolled off my mat, so I might step forward an inch. So I'm still on my mat, and my left leg is straight, right? So now I just have a longer lever load, and I'm thinking from my spine is from the top of my head to this left foot. I want you to push down into that left foot just a little bit. Find your balance. Are you ready? And then bring your right arm to reach. You're going to pull the ball, pull the knee in, tap the hand and the knee, and then push it back out. Pull in, and push it back out. Just like that. Pull in. Where are your left obliques now? Stay standing, wrapping that left shoulder back and down. Add a little bit of a push into that left foot, right? So that you're engaging through that left leg, stretching it, and then pull. That's it, almost there. 4, wrap that left shoulder back and down. Almost there. 3, good, looking just beyond your left fingers. 2, almost there. Last 1, press it all the way out, strong, straight leg, hold. Hand comes down, wrap the shoulders back and down. You're going to stand into that left leg, and press your right leg back. And then let's just bend it down again. Check it out. So you know where we're headed, right? There's a moment where you have to shift your weight to the ball, push down into it to float that right leg back, and then bring it back down. Let's do that just twice more. Standing into the shoulders, pressing that left leg straight, stand into the ball, and shift your weight onto that imbalanced, that unstable surface, and back down. Almost there. Last 1. Push into that left leg. Lift through the heart. Press the right leg back. You ready for it? We're going to cross our ankles, and we're going to hold into a plank. 5, 4, 3, last 2, almost there. Last 1. And then carefully bring that knee back down. Take a moment. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring the ball now in between our right hamstring and calf. So we're switching it to the right side. We're going to pinch it underneath us. And that left leg is still actually going to be back. This time it's on a firm surface because I'd like to have you turn towards me. So your right hand is going to be down and your left arm is going to stretch up and over. We're going to stand into that left leg, right hand, and we're going to squeeze the ball and pull that bottom leg up. And then you're going to bring it back down, and I'd like you to come all the way up. So we're going to tip like a teapot. Then we're going to squeeze and lift, bring it back down, and come all the way up. Right, just like that. Tip like a teapot. Find your waist, lift, draw it back down, and pick it all the way back up. Almost there. Let's do 3 more. Tip. Find that little squeeze, zip. So you are both squeezing the ball and your adductors. Trying to bring 2 legs together. I feel my arms lifting through those layers of abdominals. think about zipping up between the thighs to the base of the pelvis. Guess what here? We're going to lift and we're going to hold and we're just going to dance. Lower and lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Bring that all the way down. Take a little bit of a stretch if that feels good. You can find a child's pose. You can wiggle it out. Get your arms soft as we turn to face the other side. So we're back into that tabletop position. Hands firmly planted underneath us. That ball, I think I can squeeze a little better, is right behind our right knee. So we're squeezing it between our hamstring and our calf. Wrap the shoulders back and down. Look maybe towards the top of your mat. Lift the layers of abdominals, and we're going to start by just floating that right leg up and then tap the knee. Float it up and tap the knee. Whew. So I'm thinking a lot of my spine right now, right? How strong and straight. How do I lift out of my wrists as well? Right, so I think about like somebody's actually pulling from my midsection up towards the ceiling. That's my abs. So if I can get my abs to turn on, they're going to help. Last one, we're going to go ahead and press that leg back. Hold. Woo. Lift your left waist. Circle the leg to the outside and then back to the back. To the outside and back to the back. Circle and wrap. And circle, wrap the shoulders back and down. Careful that as you spiral the leg to the side, you don't shift your weight too much, but we're actually still pulling up through those left obliques. 4, and wrap. Almost there. 3, and spiral. Give me 2, and last 1, and spiral it back. Spiral it to the right side. Stay out here. We're going to drop it down and lift up. Whew. Moving into like an attitude. Growing up in dance, that to help describe what an attitude looked like, they always just described a dog lifting its leg, right? And I think every like little 8-year-old girl knows what that looks like, right? So think about lifting the leg over towards the right. 4, almost there. 3, wrap those shoulders. Last 2, whew, I feel it. Last 1, little dimple of your cheek. And soften. All right, we're going to switch now, and that ball's going to come out from behind our knee, underneath our foot. All right, so I'm going to walk myself forward just a little bit. We're going to play with that opposite arm and leg reach. So standing into strong, straight arms, stretch your right leg long and track that ball with you so it's kind of underneath your ankle. A little bit of a push down into that ball is going to help. So we're actually working on that diagonal sling. How is your left hand connected to your right foot? Lift to the abdominals. Reach that left arm long. Pull arm, hand to knee. I need more ball. And then press it back out. Hand to knee. And press it back out. Hand to knee. And lift through the layers. Stay balanced through that left hip and the right hand. And stretch. And wrap that right shoulder back and down. Whew. I'm trying to press through the first finger and my thumb of my right hand. 4, and reach. Last 3, and reach. Last 2, reach it back. Almost there. Last 1, reach it all the way back and hold. Hand comes down. Reconnect with your ball. Make sure you still have it underneath you because you're going to stand into the ball. Start to shift your weight to the ball. Woo, and then stretch that left leg straight. Wow, this side feels really different. And then soften it back down. Almost there. Stand into the ball to stretch that left leg straight. Start to play with it. Pushing energy down into the ball, lifting through the layers. There we go. I found it. And then back down. Good, because we've got this once more, and then we've got our plank, right? So stand into the ball, and then bring it down. All right. We've got our plank with our 4 count, 5 count hold, I think it was. Pressing it back, hold. Squeeze your thighs together. Both feet are on your ball. Lift up. We've got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1. Carefully bring that foot down. And soften and release. Take a little breather. You can shake those wrists if you need to. We've got just 1 more with the ball in our kneeling, right? So now the ball is going to come back underneath our left thigh, turning to face towards each other. Hand is going to come down. Right leg is going to reach. Right arm is going to reach. We've got a side bend. All right, so you're going to stand into that left hand, right foot. Squeeze the ball and zip it up. Bring it back down and then pick yourself up with those obliques. Tip like a teapot. Lift that adductor. Bring it back down. Woo! And pick it back up. Tip like a teapot. Where is your left shoulder? Zip through that left adductor. Bring it back down. Ooh, and stack it back up. We've got 1 more. Excuse me. Can't count. We have a total of 6, so we should have 2 more. And last one. Tip like a teapot. Zip it up. This is where we hold. We pulse it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last 2, almost there. Last 1. Bring it down and come all the way up. Woo. All right, little breather. So this time, let's go ahead and place the ball underneath our right ribs. This is more of a prop to help us understand where our ribs are going to be. I'd like you to bring your elbow down onto the mat and relax into the ball. This is on the right side only, I know that. So from here, let's click those heels together. The knees will be in front of your hips and your heels. Your heels are back, kind of in line with your bottom. Squeezing the heels, we press that top leg up and down, and up and down, and open. So moving right into our clamshells. We've translated those ribs into the ball, kind of shifted your weight down into the ball. As you wrap the left hip back. We worked on our adductor and our glutes earlier, right? Now we're getting those rotators, so the whole fan of our hip into our thighs. 3, last 2, last 1. Float the top leg up. Stay here for me and just externally and internally rotate. So the whole leg is staying in the midair, right? And we're just turning the femur bone. Again, working on the whole kind of fan of muscles in our hip. Last 3. Give me 2. Almost there. Last 1. From here, let's internally rotate. I'd like you to kick the leg back behind you and then pull back towards the front. Kick the leg behind you and pull back towards the front. So you're going up on a diagonal just a little bit. Think about going up on a diagonal. Whew. And up on a diagonal. Last 5. So a little bit of a lift at the very end. 4, it's going kind of high. 3. Last 2, up. Almost there. Last 1, reach it up and back for me. You're going to tap the leg down and up and down and up. So I want you to try to open the eye of your left hip crease. Stretch that left big toe away from your navel and think that you're pulling up from the outside of your hip. Almost there. 4, 3, last 2, and 1, and carefully pull that back in. Gently start to pick yourself up. You can be on your elbow as we bring our left foot in front of the right for a little twist. Gentle push into the thigh, the knee, as you turn towards the front of your mat. And then we pull back into a little bit of a flexion. Gentle twist as you turn to the front of your mat. And you pull back into that slight flexion. Last 2, gentle twist. Lifting the line of your chest, popping the hips back just a little bit, trying to open up that left hip. Last 1. And then gently bring it back up through center. We're going to swing the legs to the other side as we hit the other side for our clamshells. This side I'm going to cue just a little bit differently. I'd like you to bring the ball into the small of your waist, and I'd like you to try to stay up onto your elbow. So on this side, just because certain alignment sort of behaviors or alignment that is in the body, I'm going to have you try to pull your left obliques in and up, stand into that left shoulder, and don't collapse into the ball. Don't translate into the ball, but pull in and up. Squeezing those heels together, wrap the top thigh up and down. And this is where I like to roll back. So I'm going to bring my hand to the eye of my hip crease, and I'm going to keep myself there. So I want you to really think of your left waist here. How are you stacked from the shoulder to the hip by lifting through those left obliques? Wrapping that left shoulder back and down. Careful it doesn't creep up to the ear. That's kind of a compromise we don't want. Last one. Good. Press it up and soften. The whole leg is going to lift. Ooh, that's it for me here. A little external and a little internal. A little external. So one thing I want you to think about is how still your pelvis is. So you're really strengthening that fan of muscles that's in the right hip, just like we did on the left, which tends to be a little more dominant on our left and a little weaker on the right. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Find that little internal rotation. Hold on to it. Kick the leg behind you. Woo, and then draw it back in. Kick the leg behind you and draw it back in. Kick the leg behind you. So here in this side, you might feel a little turning or a little wrapping through that left waist. I just want you to make sure that you're not collapsing into the ball. Reach the space between your first and second toe. 5. You should feel the outside of your thigh. 3, like the knees are going to kiss, and then push up and away. Push up and away. Last 2. Almost there. Last 1, up and away. Hold. The leg drops down and up, down and up. This is that up from the right glute. Good. Pull it up. Good. Do you feel the outside of your left waist going to work? Working to stay still. Almost there. 5, 4, last 3. Give me 2. And last 1, woo, and draw it all the way back in. Foot comes down. Hand comes not onto your knee, but just in front for a gentle push as you turn. Ooh, very tight on this side and back. So I'm trying to open up my right hip, twist my spine a little bit. Rotating through the waist. Let's do that twice more. Use that exhale. Pushing you around, trying to get my low back to relax. Last 1. Ooh la la. And then back. Ooh, through center. Carefully pick yourself up. The ball is going to come underneath our sacrum. We're going to pour ourselves all the way down, nice and long, lengthening till the very end. Gently walk the feet towards your bottom to lift the hips and bring the ball underneath your sacrum. All right, so from here, we're going to work on that lumbo-pelvic stability. So how do you hold your pelvis still on top of the ball? Let's start by finding where your neutral is. Start to circle your pelvis. And I want you to find as much range of motion as you can. Now go ahead and place that pelvis on the shelf, placing it on the ball. It's not going to move. It's perfectly still. This is your neutral for the day. Arms are going to come along beside you, and we're going to start to bring our legs up to tabletop position. Just a little bit of movement here is okay, but we don't want to fall off the ball, one, right? And we want to try to keep that pelvis relatively neutral. Both legs are going to start to dip and lift, and dip and lift. So notice that I'm not going all the way down to the mat, because for me, this is where I can hold that pelvis still. Dip and lift. Dip and lift. Keeping that low back long. 4. Can you squeeze your thighs together? 3. Last 2. And last 1. And pick it up. Strong straight legs up towards the ceiling. I want you to start to lower the legs and lift. Careful you don't swing the legs up towards the ceiling. Lower and lift. Keep the low back nice and quiet. I'm squeezing my thighs together. We've done a lot for our legs today, so they're tired, but I want you to keep using them. Last 3. Give me 2. Almost there. Last 1. So we're going to combine the 2. You're going to lower, find a place you can hold. You're going to bend. Maybe you touch the mat, lift it back up, woo, and all the way back up. So a lot of hold while you're out there. Keep that waist quiet, 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 quiet. Do not arch through that low back. Keep it long. Where's the spread of your rib cage? Down onto the mat. Pull the layers of abdominals in and up. Reach. We tap the wheel of your pelvis ever so slightly. Whew, almost there. We've got 4. Keep the scoop. Zip those thighs together. Last 3. Almost there. Last 2. Lift it back up. And last 1. Lower. Tap. And all the way up. Woo! Bend the knees into your chest. Take a moment and breathe. Kind of stretch that low back. You can move into knee circles if that feels good, so long as you don't feel like you're going to fall off the ball too much, but maybe a little bit of mobility for the hips. Back up. Thank you so much. That's class.